You know, as I go through my video hashtags for tarot, I keep on finding unique things in my collection that other people either don't have or I don't see often. And one of the things I have are tarot, I guess you would call them tiles, or I don't know, mine are circular, so I don't know what you would call them. But they were custom made for me. And I realized that, you know, I've seen other people with tiles, but I've never seen this specific kind. So I realized it would be really fun to do a pick a a pick a circle. I don't know what we're going to call this. Pick a disc. I'm gonna call it a disc. So a pick a disc reading, where we don't know what's going to happen. This is blind, guys. It's a blind reading, cold reading. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick your crystal. You're going to pick crystal 1, selenite, pink amethyst, or spirit quartz. And I'm going to pull 3 of these little pegs depending on which crystal you pick. Okay? So take your time. Stare at the crystals and figure out which one is going to have your message. Now, you remember, I love doing these because it's our chance to, you know, collaborate together. I pick them and you pick which one is talking to you, you know? I love that. So that's what we're going to do right now. So if you picked number 1, if you're somebody that picked the selenite, I'm going to grab. They're in this dusty bag, guys. So that's what you hear in the background. Okay? And I'm going to open the bag. And I'm going to dig my hand in. And I'm going to think about number 1. Goddess, please give us information that will help number 1. What are 3 things that the African Tarot thinks number 1 needs to know? Oh, shucks, we on the microphone rhyming, y'all. Alright, so we're going to pick 3. So I'm going to pick the first one. Alright, this one. Pull it out and pull it out, pull it out, pull it out. Alright, carefully, because I read these like a clock, okay? This is the 5 of Swords. Flip it over and show you the front. Alright, so the 5 of Swords is very interesting. Notice that it came tilted like that, right? I read these like a clock. So if it comes tilted like that, that means it is going towards the upright. Okay? So this means, number 1, that you're tilted like this right now. So your 5 of Swords, basically, the 5 of Swords is all about a no-win situation. The 5 of Swords is a very difficult card. So let's get into what it's going to mean. Your first card. Your first disc. Your first disc. Your first disc is saying that you're going into a no-win situation. You're probably already in the situation, but because the swords indicates the intellect, you're probably figuring out right now. You probably already been there, but you're probably now just figuring out, oh snap, I'm in a no-win situation. The 5 of Swords indicates that realization, and it also indicates the fact that there's 3 people traditionally. You can see the 3 people in this disc. There's 3 people here, right? One person is the winner, clear, victorious, got a smile on his face. You can tell homeboy is winning. The other 2, not so much. Okay, so this is telling us right here that you're in this no-win situation. Nobody's really going to win. There is a clear winner, this person right here, but basically that just means that he's defeated the other 2. So he might not have even wanted to defeat the other 2, unfortunately, and may have to. So this could be a situation when you're fighting with your siblings or at work or something like that, and maybe you will come out on top. You probably will, depending upon what changes and what things that you do, but the thing about it is that it still might be bad feelings that may linger for years or months to come. Let's get you a second one, okay? See what else is going on. What else does number 1 need to know, Goddess? This one jumped right in my hand just like that. What is this? It's the reversal of the Page of Swords. Yeah. So more swords energy. I'm going to show you the picture. That's the page, right? But he came upside down. So that is giving us the energy of the Page of Swords reversed. The Page of Swords reversed means that this, remember we talked about swords in the first one, the intellect. So this could be a really nasty argument. The Page of Swords could indicate you being somebody who's being nasty, who's being argumentative, someone who may have some childhood wounds and that's why they behave this way, or it could be one of the people that you're dealing with. So one of you is this Page of Wands. Remember we said it's more than one person, 3, maybe more. So this person here, you or another person, is really the problem. This person is the problem. This person is being a asshole. Okay, let's just keep it real. This person is being a really real jerk. And they're causing these fights and these arguments, you know. Maybe not, I'm not even going to blame it all on the Page of Swords reversed. I'm not going to say they're causing them. They could be causing them, or they could just be fueling them, put it like that. So yeah, this Page of Swords reversed is bad news. And if it is you, number one, it's time for you to try some conflict resolution. Okay, it's time to try some conversations, having some communication that's not negative, you know. Talk instead of argue. See if you guys can come to some kind of consensus is what I'm saying. Number 3, your third one came out just like this in my hand, reversed. Okay, flip it around. What is that? Queen of Wands. So she's our Queen of Wands reversed. The Queen of Wands, again, indicates another person that's involved with this. So you or somebody that's involved with this is being a Queen of Wands in this situation. The Queen of Wands is a bit of a diva. I've seen her called a bitch. And I don't like to call women that word because there's a lot of connotations to it, you know. But personally, I don't think it's a word for women. I think it's just a person that is being bitchy. So that does not have to be a woman. Anybody can have that title. But yeah, I've heard the Queen of Wands called that before. I've heard her called difficult. Let's say difficult is a better adjective for her. So somebody in this situation is being the Queen of Wands. They're being a diva. They're being difficult to deal with. They're not being cooperative. And you already got the Page of Swords in the situation. So at least 2 of the people involved in this situation, you or one of them, is being this Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is hard to deal with. She also, remember, Wands is fire. So the Queen of Wands can be very angry and wrathful. Fire can be passion. I like it when it's passion, but when it's reversed, a lot of times it's wrath. And so this particular, there could be a lot of anger here. There could be a lot of confusion here in this situation. This could be really bad. This could be you could be the Page of Wands, and you could be having this back and forth situation going on with your wife or your mother or your daughter or your sister, you know. Or it could, remember, the genders don't have to be specific, because the Queen of Wands could be a guy. It could be a guy who is in his feminine energy. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. The Page of Swords can be a man or a woman. So the gender is open on these. So you could be arguing or having a dispute or something like that. Or people could be behind your back. Because remember, in the first peg, they told us that you might be just finding this out. Because your peg was tilted to the left. So you're just coming into a full understanding of what's going on. You might have felt it. You might have known bits and pieces about it. But now you really get it. You really get that something is not right. So number 1, I don't know what's going on with you and what's going on in your life, but number 1, if this resonates with you, my best advice based on these discs today is to try to have honest, open, difficult communication. Hard talks. Those difficult conversations, if at all possible, maybe some therapy. I don't know, because y'all got a lot going on here. I don't see any cooperation energy here, number 1. We need some people to cooperate here and try to heal things. Okay? So that's our first one, number 1. Now we're going to shake it up again. We're going to go to number 2. And number 2 is going to be the amethyst, the pink amethyst. Shake it up. All right, number 2. Let's see what we got for you. Hoo-wah. Number 1, you got a lot going on, baby. Hoo-wah. My goodness. All right, let's focus on 2. 2. Dos. Number 2. Goddess, please show us what's important for number 2. What do they need to know? Gotta dig all the way to the bottom of this. Amayati, Amayati, Amaakuru, Nokbara. And we pulled these at random, so we have no idea. Just like when you're shuffling cards, you don't have any idea what's going to come out. You just pull your hand out, and whatever is there, and you hold it just how it comes out. Now, peep this, y'all. It came out sideways, okay? So if it came out this way, that's reversed. But it came out this way. So when it comes out this way, the death card is the death card. So let's flip it around. We'll take a look at the picture that's on it. Okay, and put it to the side. When number 2, when the death card comes out for you, this card indicates needing to let something die. Interesting, because what it's saying is that something needs to die in your life. For example, maybe you need to stop smoking. Maybe you have a relationship in your life that needs to go away. Maybe you have a narcissistic boyfriend, or maybe you have a neighbor who's taking advantage of you, or something along those lines. It's something that needs to die. It's something that needs to go away. Something that needs to change. Transition are the words that come up with this. And when it comes up reversed like that, it means that you're not letting it die. You're not giving up. You're not letting it go. But your card is going. Your card. These are cards, but they're in a circle shape. So I'm gonna say your disc. Your disc is going towards the upright. So if you're here, you're at what we call 9 o'clock. I read these like a clock. So you're at 9 o'clock right now, number 2. Number 2, you only got to get to 12. So that means you're starting to get, well, not even starting, you getting it, but you got to go a little further. You're getting that whatever your situation is, it needs to change. There needs to be transformation. You might not be quite ready for the change yet, but it's inevitable. This change is going to occur whether you like it or not. Is it going to occur, easily and nice, or are you going to fight it? I would suggest just letting it occur. Just go for the change. Change is scary. Yeah, I agree with you, because it's scary to me too. But usually it's worth it. And if it's in this case with the death card, it indicates getting better. So these changes and transformations usually make things better. The death card doesn't usually mean death, but sometimes it does. Sometimes it literally means that someone or something is passing over. So let's say you have a goldfish, for example, and your goldfish looking kind of shady today. You might not have that goldfish tomorrow. Okay? It does sometimes mean that, but tarot readers will always tell you that the times that the death card means death is significantly less than when it's just talking about change. I've gotten the death card, let's say 5,000 times in my lifetime, and I would say about 20 times it meant literal death. So in general, that is a very true statement. So you got to let something die, number 2. Stop holding on. Everybody's going to be different because this is a general reading. So what you're holding on to, it could be bad memories. It could be a situation. It could be a job. Maybe you have a job that sucks and you need to let it go and move on to something else, but you're scared. Maybe you're afraid of making that change. What if I jump out of the frying pan into the fire kind of mentality? Totally understand. So let's get your second peg. All right. Okay. 3 of Cups. You see where it's tilted again. And I would say more like 10 o'clock this time. Let's take a look at the picture. I love the 3 of Cups. It's usually 3 women. Yeah, I see boobies. I think these are 3 beautiful women. All right. So, yeah. And it was, like I said, it was at about maybe 10 o'clock. All right. So, the 3 of Cups at 10 o'clock basically means that remember we talked about in the first one, because they're similar, we talked about in the first one change and transformation. The 3 of Cups indicates that it's going to be a happy change, a happy transformation. It may be difficult, especially like in the case of something passing over. Like if your goldfish dies, that's not a happy occasion, but maybe your goldfish is at peace now. Maybe your goldfish was miserable for the last 20 years, you know, and you kept it in that bowl, you know, staring at it and giving it fish food, and maybe your goldfish is happier now, you know. So the Three of Cups indicates recovery, happiness, celebration. So whatever this change is going to be a happy one, even if it's difficult at first. When I divorced my daughter's father, I had a party, a huge party, and the cake said congratulations. Okay, so yes, it was a difficult transition. Yes, it was a very hard time for me, but the ending was a celebration. I got to live my life the way I wanted to live. I got to be free. I got to be away from the negativity that, you know, was going on in our home and grow some myself. So yeah, it might be a difficult time, but at the end, you're going to be celebrating. For some of you, it could even mean a marriage, because for some of you, what needs to change is your relationship. So you might change your actual relationship. You might go to therapy. You might break up with that person and get with a new person. Again, difficult transitions. You might decide, you know what, I'm going to make a commitment to this relationship. So it really depends on what the situation is, because for some of you, the culmination, the ending will be a marriage. The Three of Cups often indicates marriage, or at least engagement, you know, so you could be going in that direction. So either way, I like this, and it's a lot more positive than number one. Number one was in some stuff. You feel to me like you have the ability to come out of this stuff fairly soon, depending on the choices that you make, number two. All right, number two, we need one more, goddess. One more. Number two. Uno, dos, tres. All right, let's look at that. Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords upright is like this. This way is down. So it was at about 5 o'clock, okay? This is the picture. The person's hand with a sword. Is it upside down? Yeah. I mean, person's hand with a sword. Okay? But we said it was at about 5 o'clock, okay? Right there. So the 5 o'clock indicates it's going into the reverse. So this indicates, number two, that you have to be very, very careful. Remember, swords is about the intellect. Well, the Ace of Swords is about clarity, vision, focus, understanding something. So if you're going towards the reverse, there could be some things going on here you don't understand. I think you need clarity in this situation. If I were you, whatever is going on, I would ask for clarity. If you're dealing with another person, you're a boss, you know, an entity like the government, I don't care what it is, your mama, whatever it is, ask for clarity. When you get the Ace of Swords, there's often things that you might not see or you might not understand. So you might be thinking that your boyfriend is cheating on you with the girl around the corner, and in reality, they're planning a surprise party for you. You know, something about your vision is a little cloudy in this situation, and all you have to do is get some clarity on it. A lot of times to get clarity, you just ask for it. You know, and it depends on what the situation is. Maybe you ask for it, maybe you Google, maybe you ask around, maybe you talk to an expert, but whatever the case is, you need more information. Okay, so get that information, number two. All right, number two, that's not too bad. Number two, a little work to do. Number three, the spirit quartz. All right, let's get your first one. Tress. I think I said tress earlier for number two, and tress is 3. Duh. You see, I live in Costa Rica, and my Spanish still is not that great. I'm still working on it, people. You got to bear with me. This is number 3. Number 3. Goddess, what do we need to tell number 3? Alright, check this out, right? It came out just like that. Knight of Pentacles at 7 o'clock. That's what that looked like to me. That's the knight holding his big pinnacle. I love a pinnacle. And now we're going to go to 3. So if the Knight of Pentacles is at 3 o'clock, And this could be you. Okay, so the court cards are you or another person. Okay, so you or another person involved in this situation, when they get the Knight of Pentacles, they're a little grumpy, a little intolerant. The Knight of Pentacles is not a bad dude. I don't care if he's in the upright or the reverse. And remember, the court cards can be male or female. So this could be a guy or a girl. It could be a masculine presenting, you know, guy or girl. Either way, you know. One thing about the court cards is you never really know the gender unless you pull other cards around it. So this male or female is somebody who is not a bad person, but they're kind of grumpy, they're kind of intolerant, they're kind of antisocial. This is the kind of person who doesn't do much. Maybe because of the pandemic, or maybe they're just lazy. It could be either or. But this person has a tendency not to do very many things. And if they do things, they do the same mundane stuff all the time. This reminds me of a Taurus. A Taurus have a tendency to do this sometimes. My best friend is a Taurus. And sometimes they do the same couch potato, mundane stuff over and over again. Or they're constantly exercising, or they're constantly doing something that's pretty much mundane, but I would say boring, but something like that. So this isn't a bad, you know, token to get. So you or somebody you're dealing with is this type of individual. Oftentimes when the pentacles are reversed, there could be some issues with money. Either trying to get more money, or having lost some money, or not making enough money, or wanting more money. Sometimes there's a money thing going in. Usually when the pentacles is in the upright, usually the money is good. And when it's reversed like it is here, and it could be recovering too, because it's at 7 o'clock. So it could be slowly recovering, but it could be an issue with that. Number 3, your second one. All right. What else does number 3 need to know, goddess? Amayati ama akuru nakabara. Please show me. Alright. And I just dig my hand in the bag and I just let them fall through my fingertips. And eventually one of them just sticks to my hand like this one did. Now this one, let's read it. It says 9 of Pentacles and it is reversed. Okay. So again, reverse Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles looks like this. Pretty card. Pretty disc. And ours came out reversed. Okay. So notice that both of the Pentacles are reversed. So that's again reinforcing that concept that money could be kind of iffy. The 9 of Pentacles is in general a good card if it's in the upright or the reverse. It really doesn't matter. So either, you know, the money could be iffy, maybe. It could just be concerned about money, or being careful with money, cautious with money, something like that. But the 9 of Pentacles, what we see the most is that even though the person is secure, usually there's usually a sense of security. So let's say you have a really great job, but you're penny pension, you know. It's usually something like that, or you have a good amount of money, but lately, you know, the way that the economy has been going, maybe it's not as much as you usually have. Maybe you normally have 20,000 in the bank, and right now you only have 15. You know, it could be something small like that, because these cards together don't indicate, unless we get another disc, another Pentacles disc, but these don't really indicate a huge problem, but there could be a problem, is my point. And because it's reversed means that it could be something that could be eventually worked out. It looks like it can go into the upright. But number 3, the biggest thing about this particular disc is that this person, even though they may have enough, they may still be lonely. The 9 of Pentacles reversed is often a person who's lonely, or a person who has decided that they're just going to live by themselves. Very Aquarius energy with this, because I know a lot of Aquarius that give up on relationships after a while and are just like, you know, single forever. So this is that kind of energy. A person who's either lonely or who has decided that, yo, I'm going to just stay surrounded by I'm going to keep my 15,000 to myself and just take care of myself. So this is what you could be dealing with this kind of vibration. None of this is really problematic though. I would like to see number 3, especially if you're the person, because number 3, this could be you, or it could be somebody that you're with. But if it's you, I would love to see you be a little bit more social, because in the first card we had the problem with the not being as social, and with the 9 of Pentacles, this person needs or wants companionship sometimes, or is shunning companionship sometimes. So I would love to see number 3 spend more time with people. I would love to see number 3 do more socializing, you know. Goddess, we need one more for number 3. What else does number 3 need to know? Amayati and Ma'akuru. Number 3. Got it. Alright, now, this one is the moon, and as you can see, it's at about 4 o'clock. Let's flip it, 4 or 5 o'clock. That's the moon, right there. Alright, so 4 or 5 o'clock. Alright, so the moon card, when it's reversed like that, and it's not all the way to reverse, but it was darn close. The moon, when it's reversed, is about chaos. So the situation that you're in can turn into chaos. Right now, it's not an awful situation, but it could very easily turn into that. The moon reverse indicates a lot of like lunacy. Sometimes bad dreams, sometimes a lack of intuition, not tapping into your intuition. The moon is one of my favorite cards. I love the moon. I love the depiction of it. It's often really one of the most beautiful cards in a deck. But it is often problematic because if it comes up in the upright, it's pretty okay. It can still be a little iffy when it comes up in the upright. But when it comes up like this, I get kind of concerned because one of the things about the moon, if you remember, one side of the moon is visible to Earth and the other side of the moon is not. So my thing is that if you get the moon card reversed, oftentimes something is hidden. It could be something being hidden from you. And if it's a money situation and they said it could turn chaotic, let's say you have $15,000, but your accountant is slowly funneling money out of your account. Or your husband or your wife is, sneaking and, gambling. It could be something that's hidden from you like that. So especially since your first 2 were pentacles, I would be making sure that nothing with my money could be hidden. Check your accountant, check on your bills, check your accounts. Check your money, check your house, check your mortgage, check your situations, your financial situations, all of the above. Make sure that they're in order because when this moon comes up, it means that something could get very easily thrown into chaos. It might not be there yet though, but it could get thrown into that. Also, remember the hidden part, because the hidden part also could be what's hiding in your psyche. Maybe you are battling with addiction or some type of a problem that you're hiding from yourself. So there could be some self-denial going on with this particular disc, okay? So whatever the case may be, number 3, it looks like you need to do some research as far as making sure everything is okay. And also, even if everything is okay, because you have this moon card, be very careful. Be very careful of your unconscious desires. I love that when Lucifer says it on the show. There's this really fun show called Lucifer. I used to think it was sacrilegious when I heard the name of it, but then I watched the first episode and I was like, this is the campiest, funniest comedy I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, he always asks people in this show, what are your desires? He always says that. I love the way he says it. And that's what I would be careful. Number 3, your desires. Because when that moon card comes up, your money could be messed up because you're spending too much of it on stuff you don't need because you have an addiction to something. Food, clothes, drugs, alcohol, women, porn, something like that. Maybe that $15,000 would be $25,000 if you weren't spending so much money on illegal substances, for example. I don't know. I don't know you that well, number 3. It could not even be that deep. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're just spending too much money like my mom on QVC, So those are the kind of things you want to think about, number 3, when you get those particular tokens. So let me know which pile was yours and which parts of your pile resonated with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine, because it's a general reading, so only certain parts are going to touch on everybody's life. Some of the times I watch one and everything touches on my life, and some of the times only one card or one tile in this case, one disc in this case. So I'm not too sure about that, but you tell me what you think in the comment section. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. You come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.